Hey guys, it's Lydia, and I am back today to work on my insurance video series of things that we learned with a major claim that we dealt with in insurance. And today I want to talk to you about ALE, or additional living expenses. And if you've never heard of those terms before, be glad. But we learned a little bit about ALE after our house fire, and I am not going to pretend to be an expert on this category at all. And I think it's really going to vary on your insurance and also the person that you talk to. We looked through our insurance policy after our fire, which if you have a major house claim and do not have your policy, request one from your insurance company. We actually still had ours, we didn't have to request it. But there's not much about ALE written in your policy, at least there was not in ours. So it was one of those things we had to try to figure out what to even ask questions about in order to know what we were allowed to have, what was coming to us, and even push a little bit to try to get some other things covered. The first area on ALE that we really benefited from was mileage. Where we lived was closer to town originally, and so mileage to places was a little bit shorter. Where we moved, especially for my husband's work, was 10 miles farther for his work. So we were able to get payment for 6 months that we were displaced for the extra mileage, so like 20 miles round trip. So I kept track of this. I had an Excel document and a notebook. So on the notebook I would write down like every day, Monday Scott went to work, Tuesday Scott went to work. And then I would plug in like once a month in the Excel document, and I just figured up, like our top 3 places that we went to. He went to work, we went to church, and like families' houses. And I figured up the mileage that it would have been from our original location and the mileage it would have been from where we were then, and figured up the extra, and then just kept track of it. Just tried to stay on top of it as best as I could. That was probably the hardest part. But we ended up getting a decent amount of money back from that. Who would have known that would have been something that you would have benefited from, but just by keeping track of that. Another thing that they might pay for, and this is the situational one, it depends, is things that you have to buy to replace for where you were living, but you might not be able to take with you. So for example, we had an antenna at our home that we were able to watch TV through. That was the only thing that we used. Where we were moving did not have any antenna coverage. So insurance paid for our antenna for us. We did not have a dryer. That was one other thing. No, the clothesline they paid for. We had a clothesline at our old house, but we didn't have one here. And they did cover that for us because we did not have a clothes dryer. We tried to get a dryer. They would not cover that, but they did cover a clothesline. So those are both external things from our house, but that they covered because we weren't able to use them. Somebody that I had talked to, they actually had things like curtains for their bathroom at the rental house they were living in that they wouldn't be able to take to their new house they were building. And they actually had those covered from insurance. Bath mats that they wouldn't take to the new bathroom because they were for this bathroom and not for this bathroom. Ask. See what they will cover. You might have to do a little pushing in this area, but they might cover some of it. And another thing that was brought to our attention, they are going to try to get you hooked up with a company. Say, we moved into a rental that had absolutely nothing. We had 4 walls. And so they wanted to hook us up with a company that would provide us with a refrigerator, a washer, dryer, bedding, beds, silverware, dishes, everything they would hook us up with. The catch, it's free because your insurance will pay for it. But say, we had 2 little kids at the time. They scratch our refrigerator. Guess who pays for that? Us. And guess what? That's going to happen. They throw away a fork. Who's going to pay for that? Us. So we opted to not do that. And we had other people that told us to stay away from that option. If that's the only option that you have, that's fine. But if people are offering you different things, we had a friend let us borrow a washer temporarily, and just different things like that. Try to stick with that option and not go with that company, because I personally don't know anybody that's gone with them, but I can't imagine that those fees associated with you hurting something of theirs would be cheap. So we were just told to stay away from that altogether. So just look for people in your area, look on Facebook, and see what you're able to get instead of using a company like that. I'm curious if you have ever dealt with ALE and maybe some things that you have learned. Comment below that maybe can help somebody else that is watching through this series. I'll also link the playlist below of different videos that I'm doing. I'm just working through some things that we have learned, and if you have any questions, if this is something you are working through as well, feel free to leave them below, because I would love to help or answer your question, maybe make another video, just to let you know that there's somebody out there that's been through this. You're not alone, and you will get through this. It's not a fun battle, but it's one that with some persistence you can get through and be better at the end. So let me know if you have any questions, and I hope that this helps just a little bit with ALE. And once again, not probably the thing that I have figured out the most, but hopefully it helps a little bit. And I hope that you have a great day, and I'll see you soon with another video. Bye!